Cool Gear 100 watt USB PD charger, and it is smaller than I expected. It's awesome. I swear this thing will never stay up. I need a roof. This is ridiculous. Anyways, I've got a cool new gadget here from Cool Gear. It's supposedly a 100 watt USB-C PD, and it only takes 2 inputs. 12 volts DC, connect it to this bad boy here, plug it in, and you should be able to power a laptop or a GoPro or anything you want, but 100 watts. For those that don't know, you know, USB-C is not all USB-C. There's, I've got a different one over here that is good for long charging devices. Like I have a phone that's always plugged in, so I don't care if it's a fast charge or not. 15 watts. There's 30 watts, there's 45 watts. Some power supplies are 65 watts. This is up to 100 watts, so this will take care of most of your devices, including a MacBook Pro. So as of right now, I've been using, and I hate doing this, I hate the fact that I have to use my Bluetti, which I love, it's very portable, but every once in a while, I have to take that battery there, the big old Battleborn 3 Game Changer battery, and I actually plug it in through this inefficient inverter that's crappy. I plug it in to the input here, and it charges at 200 watts, and it definitely drains the big battery pretty quick, but that big battery is 270 amp hours, and this Bluetti is 700-ish. No, I'm sorry, 60 amp hours, something like that. 716 watts divided by 12 volts, something like that anyways. But yeah, the main thing is today, I know you can barely see it, but it says Cool Gear here, and it's got the USB-C type PD right here. And just a little more info, maybe you could take a screenshot or pause it. There it all is. Check it out. I'm gonna give this a test run and I'll let you know how it works. Okay, so I've got all my electrical stuff out that I need. My Cool Gear comes with this little connector and tiny little screws, which of course I don't have a tiny screwdriver, so I have to go find that. This mess to look for a tiny screwdriver that will go into that hole. These are cheap, so they seem to just not work that well. I always tell myself, put it somewhere where you're not going to lose it. Put it where you're going to use it all the time. Ah, there it is. Look, it's right there. Well, let's see if anything blows up. Like I said, I need about 10 amp fuse. Let's see what we got. 30, 25, 7.5, 20, no. What is this red one? 10. Let's just go ahead and use the 10. Okay, this here is plugged in. We're about to stick the fuse in there. Let's see what happens. So let me first stick this bad boy in. Boom, we should be getting power to this thing. There's no indicators on it. Nothing. But let's plug something in and see what we're working with here. Cool Gear 100 watt USB PD charger, and it is smaller than I expected. It's awesome. Anyways, I plugged it in with this little device right here, this connector, and this connector is basically, it's just a little tiny screwdriver. You put the speaker wires in there basically, plug the other end into your DC bus bar, and you're good to go. So I've got 12 volts coming in, it's 100 watts. I put a 10 amp fuse in there. Right now I'm charging just a small device, but I'm gonna try to charge a laptop here in a second. My work computer's right here. Just to test it out, if it works, I'm gonna have these USB-Cs all over the place. Again, I've got wires everywhere now. But basically I've been using this Blue Eddy right here as my USB-C 100-watt power supply. But I've been charging this bad boy with my main auxiliary house battery way back there, the Game Changer 3 Battleborn. So I would charge it via a inverter that's very inefficient, but it would push out 200 watts to this bad boy, and it would charge, you know, probably 20% charge in an hour. Every hour I'd get about 20%. So I would run that for an hour. It could probably drop 10% off the main battery at least, but it would fill this bad boy up 20%, so that's good. That's a 270 amp hour. This is about a 60 amp hour battery. And anyways, I've plugged this USB-C charger into the DC bus bar over there with a 10 amp fuse. And just to give you a little idea of what it is, it's cool gear, and I will display it here for you. Cool gear, and that's it, USB-C, 100 watts. Let's test it out on the laptop next. I plugged it in, and it says fully charged, but it does recognize it as power, so we're good to go on that. I'm so excited for this because now I don't have to worry about charging that Blue Eddy all the time. Just plug this bad boy in. Anyways, that's my story. It's a mess.